Buying a home? Don't panic. Just listen to the rest of this podcast. Welcome to my podcast, everybody. My name is John LaForme. I'm a certified home inspector and the owner of Home Inspection Authority. My podcast allows me to share my day-to-day home inspection experiences and knowledge to help home buyers, homeowners, realtors, and other home inspectors set realistic expectations with each other during the home buying process. Okay, everybody, I'm sitting here with the CEO of Solar Service Professionals, We Fix Solar, Manny Hernandez.
Yeah, it sounds a little formal when you say it like that. You know, I had a customer once, bless his heart, he passed now, and I'll tell you the story about it.
Oh, wow.
But I'm young, right, obviously.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
You're 30. You are young compared to me.
Yeah, I've been doing this a long time. But I gave him the card, and my long story short, the lawyer said, if you're going to be the owner of the company, you can't mix funds, and you got to be the CEO. You're an employee, so you have to be a position. You can't be the owner, right? Okay. In a corporation, there's no one owner, right?
Well, is he referring to not raping the company?
Essentially.
Taking all the money?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So then I'm like, all right, well, then CEOs, you know. So a customer said, hey, you know, your business card is kind of pompous. He's like, you're young. How can you be a CEO and you're out here and meeting customers? You're not a CEO. CEO's in the executive branch, right? And up in the office. I'm like, well, what do I put owner? I mean, it's not a sole proprietorship here, right?
Right.
Trip out.
Right.
This guy lived in Encino. He lived on off of Ventura Boulevard by the Range Rover dealership.
Okay.
I put in solar for him through a referral. About a year ago, I get a text or a call from that referral saying he died.
Oh,
He was murdered.
Whoa.
In Encino, there was burglars that came into his house and shot him dead. He came home from the grocery store, found him, shot him dead. He was on the news. There was helicopters. ABC7 was covering it. There's helicopters over the house, and I see my solar system on the house. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe he got killed.
That's not the way you want to be noticed for your solar.
Well, yeah, but it's anyways, that's a short story about the CEO thing. Every time someone says, oh, the CEO, I think of that guy. Because he's the one that told me you're a pompous asshole.
He told you.
Yeah.
Well, rest in peace, my man.
Yeah.
That's a sad story, dude. That's going on right now. That's the world right now.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of crimes. You know, a lot of those Beverly Hills people, you can't wear a nice watch, you can't drive a Lamborghini. Dude. It's
and I don't know. I don't quite understand why the police department is not able to get a handle on this. Of it. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, well, look at all the smash and grabs. People walking in Target and just filling up bags and walking out. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What is that about?
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not over $1,000 worth of damage, they're not going to do anything.
They're not going to do anything
You're
about
just giving everyone carte blanche to go rob everything.
Yeah.
That is so fucking stupid.
I think the tide's turning, though. I think people are realizing that. It's like, hey, we can't defund the police completely, you know?
You know what I love the most? I love this the most about watching people go in the stores, fill up the bags, and watching all the fucking cowards, the men that are standing there.
Right.
Turning on their phones to record it and do nothing. I'm like, why is nobody walking up to that guy?
Why is the clerk, you know,
and just choking the shit out of him, choke him out from the back? You know, these guys, they're totally vulnerable. They got their backs turned to everybody. Mm-hmm. Anybody could just tackle them and just snuff this thing, and make them get out. You know what I mean?
So this guy with this customer that happened, it was happening. I don't watch the news too much. It's a lot of bad shit on the news. You know, just
there's also good stuff.
Yeah, but it's a lot of negativity.
Don't get your news off Facebook. You'll be fine.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, I cut out social media.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to ask you that.
I'm probably one of the few youngins, millennials that
smart.
It's just so, I don't know.
Right. Do you advertise on any social medias?
Yeah. I still kept the company social medias.
That's smart.
Yeah. Solar Service Pros #.
Now, but what do you have that? You have it on Twitter?
We have Instagram. We have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Those are the main ones.
And how do people find you on there? Give me each one.
It's all of them are at Solar Service Pros.
Solar Service Pros. So real quick, I know we jumped into some, little bit of, let me get back to on point here. Okay. So, Manny and I met through, Larry Cook, your realtor.
Yeah. My realtor, I trust him 100%. I knew him. You look like you work out.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So he was my, him and his wife have Triangle Theory, personal training.
Right.
And I worked with him for a while, maybe 2 years.
Oh, you did some training with him?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I know how to train right. I'm not in the best shape right now. I probably stopped training for about 8 months. But prior to that, I was working out daily with a personal trainer. But he went into real estate about 4 years ago. And so he helped me with, we've been looking at houses for a while. And he said, I have the perfect guy for the home inspection. Don't look anywhere else. So I trusted him, and you showed up.
Right.
Yeah.
And you gave me a big compliment when we were at your job that day, because when I found that plumbing leak in the back, you looked at me and goes, worth every penny.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah. Well, I got credit from the
That's the whole point, man.
Yeah.
That's the point.
They didn't want to budge on the credit, but I told them, like, listen, you have this, and this, which I wouldn't have known if you didn't.
Right. So
if you didn't just flush the toilet and come out and like, hey, that's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. The Manny's new house he bought this is back in the beginning of May.
Beginning of May.
So did you go through with it?
We got the keys this Tuesday.
Awesome. Congrats, man.
Yeah.
That's
thanks.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hang on. We got to get some applause going here. Where's my applause button?
Yeah. There you go.
All right, man. There you go.
Yeah.
Another home sold.
Yeah.
And inspected by the authority. So anyway, Manny's the biggest problem I found over there, aside from the mold issues I noticed in your garage and stuff like that, he had there was a guest house built above the garage, and I think the Looney Tunes character showed up to actually install the plumbing, and they ran ABS plastic through the wall at the exterior and ran it all the way down 1 story into the ground, and the sun just destroyed it.
It was actually
leaking
worse.
everywhere.
So you saw a crack.
Yeah.
And it was leaking, right?
Because the sun did that. Yeah.
The sun did that.
Yeah.
So when I had the septic guy, the plumber, come out and inspect the sump pump and figure out what the situation was there.
Yep.
When we went to take that off and shove a camera through it, the whole thing came down. So it was actually worse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So definitely.
So as soon as you touched it fell apart.
Yeah. So plumbing should definitely not be exposed. If it's not metal.
ABS plastic should not be exposed. Yeah. Or PVC. Anything
or PVC.
like that.
PVC is even worse.
Plastic, the sun destroys everything, everybody, in case you don't know that already.
Yeah.
Long enough in the sun, it'll destroy it. So
Which is funny. I think we all know that. But then we forget when salespeople tell homeowners, hey, your solar system, no maintenance needed. Just buy the $30,000 system, put them outside on your roof, in the elements,
right,
and you're not going to need mate. It's not true. The sun and the weather beats everything up.
That's true. It does beat everything up. So, okay, today we're going to talk about solar because of your position.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy I met you. I got to be honest with you. After meeting you and talking to you and then realizing that you actually had the solar service company, I was like, oh, this is great stuff.
Right. Yeah. So when I showed up, you thought I was the help.
I didn't know who you were. Yeah.
I'm like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, oh, I'm not the owner. I'm like, I know. How's it going? No, I'm not the owner. I'm like, no, I'm the owner. I'm asking you how you doing.
I didn't know. And
I rolled up in the company truck.
I'm going to push back now. That's Larry's fault for not introducing us.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. I'll show up. The realtor won't even introduce me to the buyer sometimes. I'm like, and there's like 5 people showing. I'm like, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
This ain't a house
it's
party.
It's a house party, and you don't know who's there. Yeah, I'm like, who's here? Who's, you had the chimney guy, everyone else there.
Yeah, so it was pretty funny how we met. Then I realized you had a sense of humor, so that was good.
Yeah, no. Well, you got to have fun.
Manny's a funny guy, so I have to invite you over to some barbecues.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so I got to be honest with you. When I first, years ago, when I first talked to the first person about solar, all I could think of was snake oil.
Yeah.
Okay?
Bullshit.
All I could think of was just flat out nonsense. You're borrowing from Peter to pay Paul for your electric bill. I just never had a conversation with anybody that just gave me a straight, well, this is how it works, John. This does this does that. It was always a shell game. And I'm like, look at these guys. Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you telling people that?
Right.
How is that? How are you going to tell someone that has an education that doesn't understand what BS sounds like? Because it all sounded like BS.
What year was that?
Oh, that was probably, see, it's 23 now. I'd say at least 15 years ago.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
So that would have been.
And then everybody since then, it hasn't been much better.
Yeah.
So,
no, I have to disagree with you. I've seen a lot of bullshit in the industry, and the market figures it out, right? People find out what's BS, what's not, and those companies have gone out of business. But yeah, you're right. Long story short, people didn't really know how to sell it ethically. That's the thing. So I've been in solar. I've been in solar since 2011. So 2011, yeah. And I was in college, and I have an IT background. I'm a computer science guy.
okay.
Computer science and electrical engineering. And I was setting up telemarketing for a solar company. They needed someone to come out, and I was in college, and so I was cheap. And so they needed someone cheap to then knows networking, set up the computer, set up the stations, the dialers, because
They knew you were cheap?
yeah, I mean, I'm young. I was, they paid me $20 an hour. It was like,
Oh, okay.
it was like great.
They didn't know you. They didn't think you were cheap. They knew you were naive because you were just learning.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, so I worked for them, and the owner came out and said, "Hey, listen, I have a position opening. One of my project managers is an idiot, and you're logical. You're a computer guy. You know A, B, and C. Why don't you become a junior project manager and manage these solar projects?" I'm like, okay. He's like, but before you do that, you have to learn every position underneath so that you understand how to manage it.
And what are those positions?
So the first one is a surveyor. That's the bottom barrel of the industry. You just go out and measure the roof, take photos, analyze what's going on. There's not much expertise there. Anyone could snap a photo, right? You're not doing any of the analysis, and you don't have the experience. The engineer looks at your photos and makes the decision. After that, it's a junior project manager, inspection, an inspector to come out and actually meet city inspectors, installer to actually put the panels in, and then engineer, where you design the system. So I've essentially held all those positions. And at the beginning, there was a lot of BS. There was a lot of just blatant lies of what the return on an investment.
Is that from the top? The bullshit coming from the top, or just people didn't know what they were doing on the bottom?
People didn't know what they were doing at the bottom. It was a salesman taking advantage of the government rebates. And this is from 2011 to 2014. I think that was the most blatant, abuse of, just lying to people and just straight bullshit.
Okay, everybody, check your records. If you had solar put in within that time frame, you might want to go back and double check everything and cross your eyes. And
dude, there was so the way solar is priced, it's like almost any industry. It's by a rate. So a lot of like flooring is a rate per square foot.
Sure.
Right. Roofing rate per square foot. Solar is dollars per watts, price per watt. Mm-hmm. So if you have a solar panel, very simple math, it's 100 watts per panel, for example. Mm-hmm. They're 400 watts now, but let's say 100 watts per panel, and they sell it to you for $100, that's $1 per watt, right? And so as you expand this, the average at the time was about maybe $5 per watt, and the government was maybe subsidizing about $3 of it. Which, on a $50,000 system, the government was going to give you $30,000. Okay. So it was, that's the boom here in California, right. San Fernando Valley. All of a sudden, California just blew up. So there was a lot of salesmen, snake oil salesmen, like you're saying, right?
Snake oil, baby.
They saw it, and they went in and just boom, 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 boom.
All right, so hang on. I need to educate some people real quick.
Sure.
I took the pleasure of going to this thing called Google.
Yeah.
And looking up what snake oil meant.
Okay.
So for all you youngsters out there who are not familiar with it, okay, snake oil is a term used to describe deceptive marketing, healthcare fraud, or a scam. Similarly, snake oil salesman is a common label used to describe someone who sells, promotes, or is a general proponent of some valueless or fraudulent cure, remedy, or solution.
Yeah, and the way I also think of it is fly-by-night companies.
Yes.
Right? They come in, they sweep in, they do whatever they got to do and bounce.
Well, that's most contractor services. They all have
Right?
that. They all have that ability to do that.
To do that.
Every electrical, plumbing, it doesn't matter who you are as a contractor. Everyone has that ability to do that. So I wouldn't kind of. I do have to generalize that because that can happen to any contractor industry.
Yeah.
So I got some questions for you here.
Yeah.
So I'm a homeowner.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of solar. I'm being honest with you, only because of what I just told you.
Yeah.
And, as a home inspector, I'm looking at these things on people's roofs, and all I think of is, well, there's a potential leak there. There's 30, 40 mounts on one side of a house. So to me, I kind of wish I didn't know what I know.
Right.
It's one of those things.
You saw how the sausage was made.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, hang on. Let me go push a little further on that.
Sure.
So with that in mind, that's in my head. But having solar, to me, it makes sense for some situations, but not all. In my head, that's how I think. But I did recently buy some solar for my house.
Oh.
And I wanted to show you what I bought.
Okay. Oh, don't give me a calculator. Okay.
I bought a landscape solar light for my yard. Now, ask me why I bought this.
Why did you buy that?
Because I don't have to plug a cord in anywhere.
You don't have to pipe anything, trench anything.
Nothing.
Pop it in.
My house, I just moved in here like 8 months ago.
Oh, okay.
And I don't have a bunch of electrical outlets in the backyard. And I'm thinking, wow, I'd like to light up my yard, make it look nice at night, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? Why don't I try these?
What does those cost?
$10.
So you saw my property.
Watch this.
Yeah.
It actually works. It's pretty dim. It's not going to light up the house, like a Christmas tree, but it's
well, you got enough
works.
of those. Yeah, you got enough of those.
Yeah. So
what'd you get on Amazon?
No, actually, I walked into Lowe's and they had this.
Oh.
$10, right? As soon as you walk in the door, they want everyone to know about it.
Yeah. No, those work.
Yeah. So
you saw my property, right?
Yeah.
So I need to get a bunch of those. It's 2.5 acres. It's dark out there.
Yes.
And just walking out to the driveway and getting trash cans or whatever.
You might run into a coyote or a bear or a wild mountain lion out there.
Yeah.
You live in a very off the grid type area.
Yeah.
So you'd be a good candidate for solar, but you already have it.
It's a shitty solar system.
Yeah. So, but I remember you telling me it wasn't working right. Something wasn't working
right. Well, okay. So let's go back to your question. So you're not a big proponent of solar, but you got this.
But this to me makes sense.
Makes sense.
It just totally makes sense.
Yes.
That's it. That's all.
So you hit home on something. Solar is not for everybody. Even though the solar installation companies want to tell you it is, it's not. So the way solar works, it's essentially, let's say you have a high electric bill. In the San Fernando Valley, really all of California is now getting hot. Unless you live by the ocean, it's really hot everywhere else. San Fernando Valley, San Gabriel Valley, Inland Empire.
Woodland Hills I call it Hell's Kitchen. It's so hot
super
over there.
hot, right?
Over there.
So we all have a high electric bill because we use the air conditioner.
Yeah.
That's the main driver. And a lot of the homes also have pools. Mm-hmm. So there's pool pumps that are just running 8 hours a day. That's expensive. And a lot of them haven't been retrofitted.
Right. So if they're the old single speed pumps, they're just constantly putting out all that power constantly. Yeah. Otherwise, nowadays you can get the variable speed, which is very effective. Yes. Yeah. It's only using a bit of that power.
So we use a lot of electricity for those homes, right? But the same house can have a family of 4 or 5, or it can have a widow.
Right.
Or it can have a little old lady, a grandma, and she uses a different amount of power than that family. So it's not for everybody because the solar investment, the capital investment that you put into it, you're looking at nowadays it's maybe starting at $15,000 and up. Back in the day, it was probably $30,000 and up.
You mean for like a 1,500 square foot house? Or?
For a San Fernando Valley home.
All right. So, okay.
Yeah. So
now, do you guys, does that, now when you say for San Fernando Valley home, I mean, that could be many sizes. So to me, a basic average size of a house is 2,000 square feet.
Yeah, so
That seems to be the average.
it'd probably be about 20 panels. Now we'll go into the specifics if you want, but panels are different sizes. They produce differently, just like cars. Some are faster, some are slower. Depends what you're looking for.
I see.
Right?
I didn't know that. All right.
So they're different. But it goes based off the system size. And bottom line, they're expensive, but it makes sense if your return on investment is there. So let's say, what do you pay for electricity now? Do you know?
There's my utility bill, brother.
Okay. Water and power.
My electric's right there.
Okay. So is this every month?
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at a bill here from the water and power company, and the top line amount due is $404.
That's because I forgot to pay last month's bill.
So there you go. Okay. So what's the current charge? It's $202.
Yeah.
So $202.
Yeah.
But of that $202, it's only $33 of electricity.
Right.
Right. So a lot of people get stuck on that $202. Solar panels aren't going to do anything for your water, solid waste, or sewer.
That's correct.
Right. So it's just $33. I'm like, don't worry about it. You don't need solar.
Right.
Generally speaking, if you have a $200 a month electric bill on this line item, it's $200.
Right.
Then it's worth it. Why? Because if you do the math, $200 a month times 12 months is what? 2.4.
2,400.
2.4. Yeah, $2,400.
Yeah.
If that's $2,400, and then you say, well, the solar system costs $15,000, right? I don't know if you have a calculator here, but if you do the math, right? Let's see, I'm pulling up my iPhone here. Get this.
I know I forgot something today. I knew I was going to have to do some math.
So,
I hate math.
Yeah, so $15,000, let's say, divided by $2,400,
Right.
it's 6.25 years. So in 6.25 years, the solar system would have paid itself off because you're going to pay the electric company anyways. It's not, you can't tell me you're not going to pay the electric bill, right?
Right.
Now, this is before rebates or tax credits. So of that $15,000, the federal government will give you 30% back in a tax credit.
Okay.
But the homeowner needs to have the tax liability. This is very important. A lot of salespeople will say you get 30% back rebate. The difference between a rebate and a tax credit, a rebate's a cash, a check that gets sent to you that anyone can deposit and take advantage of. A tax credit is for someone that has a tax liability. They make enough money that if they owe $10,000 to the IRS at the end of the year, well, they'll credit them. Oh, well, you have a solar system. Here's $5,000 credit. Now you only owe the IRS $5,000. Right?
I see.
So the tax credit is key here. So of the $15,000,
So you have to be a taxpayer to get a tax credit.
that's right. You have, and the assumption is you're a homeowner and you're a taxpayer.
So if you're a drug dealer, this is not going to help you.
This is not going to help you. Okay. If you're on a fixed income elderly and you don't have a tax liability, it's not going to help you. Not a purchase system.
I see.
Because
so purchase system.
Let's say it's $15,000, right? And you get $5,000 back in a tax credit. But you have to owe the government something at the end of the year. If you're a retired person on a fixed income, you don't owe them anything. You're on Social Security.
That's right. Yeah. You're not even doing taxes.
You may have a pension, but maybe you're not even getting taxed anymore, right?
Right.
So let's say it's $15,000 and you get 30% back. So net after next April 15th, you only really pay $10,000 for the system.
Mm-hmm.
$10,000 divided by 2,400 is 4 years. It's dropped your return on investment from 6.2 years to 4 years. The average homeowner lives in the house for 7 to 13 years.
Yeah. Most likely 7.
7 years.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for them to do it. Or if the house is going to stay in the family, then by all means, in 4 years you got your money back. And then everything after that, let's say 2,400 for the next 10 years, is $24,000 in your pocket that you would have to pay anyways. Put that in a mutual fund, put that in an investment, put that whatever, because you're not paying the utility company anymore. So
I can, So I'm right there with you. I do agree with that. That look, if this is your forever home and
right,
you've got a lot of years left. I can.
If you're flipping the house, don't do it.
No, if you're flipping the house, don't do it. I think people just get caught up in oh my God, I have solar, I have an electric car.
Yeah,
they just get caught up in that. They don't think it through. And, as a home inspector, I deal with this a lot where I show up and there's solar. And then I hear the realtor trying to calm down the buyer because, oh, well, there's a lease on this and I have to find out how we're going to deal with that.
Yeah.
So that's a problem.
So check this out.
That
So
can be a problem.
So there's a lease. So to get solar, because it's expensive, you either paid it out cash. And so a lot of the systems that you're coming across now, when you're doing a real estate transaction, were installed from 2010 and on.
Okay.
Generally speaking. And there was a real big boom in 2013 to 15. So a lot of the houses maybe in that area, right? If the average homeowner's at 7 years, this isn't about the time that they're buying the house with solar.
Right.
Right, the new homeowner.
Okay.
So back then, you either had enough money to pay $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 cash. Generally older people, right? 70s, they have their money, they'll pay it out cash. If you didn't have the cash, you were financing it like you'd finance a car.
Right.
And they would do generally a 12-year loan because 5 years the payments are too high. The payments are too high that it's higher than your electric bill. What's the point? So 12 years or more, or they would lease them. Back then, when I first started, the big push, Elon Musk, right?
I don't like Elon Musk.
I mean, I don't know if you know him personally. But
no, I don't know him personally.
Yeah. So before he did Tesla and before SpaceX, he had solar.
Nowadays, he's turning into Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that about him lately? He's like on this fucking mission. So I'm glad you brought that up because
What do you mean, Dr. Evil? What do you mean?
I was a big fan. I was a big fan of his for years.
He's a little weird, but he's cool.
But after watching Austin Powers, and Dr. Evil and all that stuff, he just kind of makes me think of that. He just he's turned. He seems like he's turning in a bad direction, and I just don't like what he's doing right now.
What do you mean specifically?
He's getting political.
Yeah,
that I don't like.
He's leaning it. Yeah,
he seems like he took over Twitter,
bro,
just to fuck with people.
Yeah,
I get so much money, I'm gonna do this, dude. Go back to your thinking when you build PayPal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like when you were trying to do something positive for the world and put some money in your pocket. I just don't like what he's doing, man. I'm not a fan.
Well, to defend him, he thinks he is doing something positive, right?
I get that.
Free speech, and they were
right. Yes, free speech is important.
Twitter was censoring a lot of people, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't work there.
Yeah, well, I'm not on Twitter. I care less.
I don't understand Twitter.
It's just, you know what it is? I understand it, but it seems too exhausting. Like you're always
Everyone's putting their thoughts on Twitter, and a lot of people get in trouble for it. And I think that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
you are so stupid. You are so stupid. You're putting your angry thoughts about somebody on here, and guess what? Next thing you know, you're getting sued.
Yeah.
And guess what? They have a record of it now because that's a record.
Yeah.
That is a legal document.
There you go. So before he had Twitter, before he had Tesla, he had Solar City. I wasn't aware of that. He owned Solar City actually failed, like most solar companies back then did. And to save it, he convinced the board to have Tesla buy out Solar City, even though Solar City was a money loser. And the way he sold it is that he was going to package Tesla to be a renewable energy company. The cars, the solar panels, the solar roof, EV, all that stuff.
Oh, interesting.
But Solar City was, if Tesla hadn't, Solar City was actually ran by the time this happened, ran by his cousins. So if he actually had bought them out and saved them, they would have gone bankrupt. Right, like a lot of companies did back then. Mm-hmm. They pushed. So why did he fail? Do you know that? Do you know that reason for that on solar? Why did he fail on solar? It's very hard to push a national installation company. That means there's so many moving parts. Right. Why do most contractors, plumbers, electricians, drywall guys, they're all local? Right. I know a guy. He lives in there. Yeah. They're all local. When you try to do a national brand, right? Every 50 states, they were everywhere. Mm. To compete, they had to pay electricians, technicians, employees. Back then, I'm talking 2013, 14, they were paying people $35 an hour. That was a lot of money back then. Yeah. When the average industry was paying, if you were really, really good, maybe 25 to 30 bucks
Right.
an hour. So they were just dumping cash on people. And they weren't finishing the jobs, the cash flow. It's very complicated, but essentially they couldn't keep it going. Most solar companies fail because the capital investment required,
Right.
it's too much for them.
Sure.
And they get greedy and they pull the money out of the company, and there's nothing to keep it flowing. I don't know exactly why they failed, but
Right.
Solar City, Varango, American Solar Direct, those are some of the big companies, and
Right.
some homeowners listening might say, "Oh, I remember those companies because they sold me solar."
Yeah.
They went-
I still see Solar City boxes on people's houses.
Yeah, right. Solar Cities, yeah, you'll see that.
Yeah.
Varango's another one.
Yep.
American Solar Direct.
You know, my neighbor right next door here has the panels, has the shingles,
I'll come back to that.
the roof shingles.
I think that's bullshit. But we'll come back to that.
Oh,
So they
all right.
so it's they leased it. So what they did is said, okay, well, the federal government will give you 30% back in tax credit to the owner of the system.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, if you're the homeowner, you buy it, you're the owner, you get the tax credit.
Right.
But if you don't, if you're on fixed income, you're retired, you don't have the tax liability, so you can't take that tax credit we were talking about earlier. Right?
Right.
So what if a company was to buy the system for you? They own the system. They get the credit from the IRS, 30% of one system, two systems, thousands of systems. They'll discount that amount from your bill, and now you only pay the difference, the 70%. And
Right.
they'll finance it, and they'll make the payments so cheap over a 30-year term.
30 years.
30 years. So if your electric bill was $150 a month, now it's $100 a month. Dude, it's nothing. But fine.
Right.
Okay, that was their whole spiel.
That's the sell.
That's the snake oil.
That's the
You
snake
save $50 a month, whatever it was.
Right.
So it was, and what they really sold was you avoid the rate hikes of the utility company. Yeah, you don't save as much as buying
You're
it.
fixed.
You're fixed.
It's like a 30-year fixed loan
Exactly.
on a house. Same thing.
And what they would do is during the presentation, they would inflate the amount that the utility went up. They would say your utility bill goes up 15% a year
Oh.
or 10% a year, which was, I'm like, if you look at the an analysis of it, and federal and government agents have done this, the average electric bill, yeah, it's like up and down.
Right.
Sometimes it's flat, and then sometimes it goes up 7%. But over a 10-year term, it goes up about 3% a year with the CPI.
You know what else
That's
goes
inflation.
up? You know what else goes up 3% a year?
Everything else.
Rents.
Everything else, right?
Yeah.
So that's how they got a lot of people. And they would sell these leases, and what they would do is they would get the lease, they would then claim the tax credit. You know, they get 30%, let's say they get whatever it is, it's $1.
Right.
They would then transfer the tax credit to, let's say, Walmart, and Walmart would buy that $1 tax credit for 70 cents. So they would cash out the tax credit.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you can't eventually get money for it, but if you sell the tax credit to a corporation that has a tax liability for pennies on the dollar, then everyone's a winner. But who's paying for
Wow.
it? The homeowner, right? So
Pour that oil on me. Yeah. What the
that was a lease program.
Right.
It was
And if you know anything about car leases, you can't get out of a car lease.
You're fucked.
You have to buy it out. I've leased so many cars in the first couple early years when I did it when I was a lot younger. I learned my lesson. Now I know how to manage that.
Yeah.
So it's like anything else. If you're leasing it, you got to know what the way out is.
The way out.
Is there a way out?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand too. Just in general, any kind of a contract, there's always a way in. But most people never think of the way out. Okay, that's it for part 1 of Is Home Solar for Everyone with Manny Hernandez from Solar Service Pros. Thank you for listening, and we will get part 2 out to you as soon as possible. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search Buying a Home, Don't Panic. You can check out a lot of my videos regarding day-to-day inspection defects I find, how-to videos, and so forth. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.